What's going on, folks? It's your man, Mr. Council, back with another one, Saturday Motivation. You know how we do. Show Saturday because Saturday is the day that's uniquely your own. Most people working 9 to 5, so by the time they get to Saturday, they feel it's necessary to take their foot off the gas. But most artists, creators, and business minds know that Saturday is the day to put your foot on the gas and handle your business. How we doing, guys? It's another Saturday. It's gloomy out. It's raining out. It doesn't really feel like winter. It just keeps bouncing back and forth between cold and warmer, and so it's a little bit weird, but we're still here and we're still blessed. I have another word. I just wanted to get on here and say something real quick. I'm gonna try not to hold you too long. I know I say that all the time, but I'm gonna really try to stick to that this time. I got a couple more games today, so I gotta get going. I gotta get to the gym, but I had to stop and talk to my people. One thing you have to understand is that you may not be exactly where you want to be in life, but God is still working on you. Oftentimes, when we get upset at our circumstances and our situations, and God doesn't unlock the next level for us because he understands that we're not ready for it, especially when you're being led by God. There's a lot of people out here that's just living for themselves and living for money. But those people who are really focused on following God, you have to understand that he's still working on you. And he's not going to set you up and put you in a situation that you are not ready to handle. And it took me a long time to understand that. For a long time, I wanted to be a school principal, but I've lost that desire, mainly because of my interest in my music. But I always said to myself, even in my pursuit of that I never wanted to take a position that I wasn't ready for. Like before I would become a principal anywhere, I would definitely want to be an assistant principal so I could, understand what it's truly like for that next level. And some people jump into jobs that they're not ready for because they feel like, oh, I want to make a certain level of money, I want a certain status. And so they feel like as if they take on this job, they'll learn on the job. But I always wanted to be great at what I do and not just good. And some people are really not good and don't even need certain positions that they have, but they get them anyway. And they don't understand why they're not happy and why they're not successful. It's because they weren't ready for the position. I'm saying all that to say God is still working on you. And so you have to understand the process of whatever it is you're going through, that you cannot get frustrated. And I know that's hard. I talk to my players about that all the time. When they miss shots, when they make mistakes, you have to stop getting frustrated. And that's something that's a mental battle that's going to take constant work. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. And like I said in videos in the past, whenever a situation arises now for me, that's something I don't like, oftentimes I have a short fuse. It still happens. And that's why I know I'm not exactly ready for what God has for me, because there's still some kinks that God is still working out. But what I try to do every time something frustrating happens is say, God wanted me here. I have to keep myself in the mind frame that God wants me in a particular place. And that particular place is not always going to be where I want to be. See, we've grown into such a selfish culture that we truly think it's all about us and the things that we want. And when you're really being led by God, it cannot be that way. He understands things that are coming down the line that you cannot see. He understands experiences that you're going to have, that certain attitudes that you're going to need to have in check to get the things that he requires of you in that situation. But we get so focused on the things that we want that we can't see the forest for the trees. And so you have to understand, if you truly want something great, if you truly want God to bless you, you have to exercise patience. And in that patience, I don't just mean wait. In that patience, you have to continue to work on you. And oftentimes we forget about that. Because many people are just waiting on the Lord to make something miraculous happen in their life. And then actually, if something miraculous does come to you, you don't know how to handle it because you haven't been preparing the entire time. See, confidence, I spoke on this in a channel, on this channel months ago, but confidence equals preparation. If you are fully prepared, you're overconfident about the task ahead. When you know you've put in the work, you've grinded everything out, you've prepared yourself for everything possible in that situation, you have ultimate confidence. Well, God right now doesn't have ultimate confidence in you. And that's a tough pill to swallow. But it's okay that he doesn't. It just means that he's still working on you, but he hasn't given up on you. See, it's the difference between the two. God is never going to give up on you as long as you're still alive. As long as you get blessed enough to continue to be breathing every day, you have to understand he's giving you another opportunity. You just have to recognize that. Show honor to him and love for doing that, and pay him back by doing what you're supposed to do with your life. And that's being the best you that you can be using your gifts and talents. That's all that it means. And I'm not saying that that is easy. It's easy to put into a framework, but it's not easy to walk and live by every day. That takes discipline. Continuing to get up and go to the gym on days that you don't want to go, that takes discipline. Continue to get up and go to work on days that you don't want to go, that takes discipline. Continuing to work on your dreams outside of your 9 to 5, even if you're not seeing the results that you want to see, that takes discipline. And until you get into a space which you're at peak discipline, he's not going to throw you out there. He's testing you to see if you're ready. So oftentimes, God will throw a situation in my face. Something that's soft and simple, but then I fail the test because then I have a quick trigger and I get upset about something. Oh, we can't put him out there, because if somebody does that on the big stage, then that's going to ruin all the work that I've been working on through this young man or through this young woman. That's what you have to understand. See, you've been dealing with years and years of obstacles, but all of those obstacles are preparing you for what's coming ahead if you stop and truly think about it. If you've gone through something, half the time when you go through your worst situation, oftentimes you're prepared the most because of what you've been through. Oftentimes you could even surprise yourself in a situation that you thought you would wig out in, you thought you would flip out in, you thought you would have some sort of mental breakdown in. Oftentimes that's the moment that you have the most calm, and that's because God has been working on you. And he's been throwing you into similar situations. So finally, when he throws you in, when you need to exercise patience and control, you do that. And that's what he's constantly doing with you on a daily basis. Because you have to understand the world is going to attack you in all angles, from all angles, especially when you're trying to accomplish something good. See, there's a lot of people in this world, they just don't want good things. They don't want good things to happen to them. They don't want good things for other people. They just want chaos. Some people are born like that. And those are the type of people you have to get yourself away from. And the only way you're truly going to be able to change yourself is if you separate yourself from average people. You have to put yourself in a situation where you're either around people that want it like you want it, or you're by yourself. And that's hard because most people are social and they want to be around other people. They want to share in with other people. But you cannot truly share your greatness with other people until you finish working on you. Because oftentimes your feelings might change when other people come around. The influence of other people is powerful for some people. You might have an aunt or a cousin or a brother or a sister or a mother or just a friend that has an amazing amount of influence on you. When that person comes around, you're a different type of individual. And that might be the person that you need to stay away from. Even though that might be your favorite person. You might have some great times with that person, but that person is doing nothing to feed your soul and make you a better individual. So God is still working on you. So when you go through those moments of doubt, understand God is still working on you. When you go through moments of frustration, understand God is still working on you. Understand that God has not forgotten about you, but he needs you to be better than what you are right now. Who you are right now is not good enough for his assignment. And until you swallow that pill and get better, nothing in your life will change. So if I can motivate you today, And working on being your best self, you have to exercise patience. When things don't go your way, you cannot lash out negatively. You have to find your way. You have to wrap your mind around something positive in that moment to drag yourself away from negativity, or things will not change. All of that because God is still working on you. And until you become your best self, the version of you that he needs to send out into that field to fight whatever it is that you're taking on, then you will not get there. And you may never get there. But that's up to you and your level of discipline and your level of I want it. See, oftentimes in games, I tell my players that team wanted it more than we did. They prepared more than we did. So they were better than us this day, but that doesn't mean they're going to be better than us always. All right? You have to learn from your losses. You have to learn from your missteps. You have to learn from your mistakes and understand that God is still there with you through the good and bad times. But if you never lighten the load of those bad times, you will never get to the place where you need to be. And that's hard to accept. And so every day you have to wake up with new energy, a new sense of urgency, because we're all getting older. We're not getting any younger. And so you have to understand, if you really want it, you have to show God that you truly want it. And you can't say it. You have to show it. And so when he throws a curveball your way, you have to duck and keep moving. If he throws a difficult situation at you, you have to pause and breathe and stay calm in that situation and work it out with a positive head. But speak positivity into every situation that comes around, and understand if you end up someplace that you did not want to be, it's because God wanted you to be there, and you need to swallow that and accept it. And once you can do that, then God will put you exactly where he needs you, because then he will know you are ready to handle the task. But until that day comes, you will stay exactly where you are. So understand, you might be down, but you're not out. And when you are down, it's only because God is still working on you. But the fact that he still hasn't given up on you should bring you great joy. Because people in your life will give up on you. Some of the people that are closest to you will not believe in you the way they should, or the way you think they should. But none of that matters as long as God still has that belief in you. You still have a chance. You still have an opportunity to be greater. And I want to be great just along with you. So this is your day. Stop making excuses. Stop complaining about your situation, and just understand that God is still there, but he needs you to be a little bit better. And until you recognize that, nothing will change. That's my time. Peace to all my people in the struggle.
Saw you on the way, cruising just the other day. Girl, I have to say, beauty is your other name. Driving me insane, so I gotta know her name. Saw that face, fell in love without a conversation. So I'm pulling up, some may call it pushing up. Either way I want, you is really what I want. Tell me what you want, I'll be everything you want. Turn me up and you won't regret this conversation. Be my baby girl, would you be my baby girl? Travel all the world, nothing like you, girl. Come inside my world, cause you make me better, girl. Be my baby girl, would you be my baby girl? Be my baby girl, would you be my baby girl? Travel all the world, nothing like you, girl. Come inside my world, cause you make me better, girl. Be my baby girl, would you be my baby girl?
I saw the baby when she skated past the candy store. Lil' mama waited cause she saw just what she looking for. A smooth complexion